Hello, it's Dawn, and apologies for the delayed start time. I was having some technical issues with my camera on my computer, so I had to restart my computer real quick. So welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dawn, and I am an EFT advanced tapping practitioner here in Los Angeles, and we got lucky because it was pouring rain today for most of the day. And now it's a nice blue sky and the rain has stopped, so that's very exciting. So for those of you who haven't heard about what EFT is, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's a really great tool that a gentleman named Gary Craig used a lot with veterans and PTSD. And it's been used for many reasons. And, you know, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. And, you know, for many people, and perhaps you're feeling this way as well, that, you know, sometimes Thanksgiving and Christmas can cause some stress, whether it's because you emotionally eat or you're anticipating, you know, seeing a certain family member or a friend, or maybe you've had a very difficult year and it's your first holiday without a loved one or someone that you've lost or a pet. And so sometimes those things can be triggers for people. And so I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of demonstration today of how you can use EFT tapping for holiday stress. And so first, I thought I would just go over the points really quickly for those of you who aren't familiar. Also, if you're on my Facebook page, you can probably see one of the diagrams of the EFT tapping points. But I'll go ahead and review that very quickly here. So what it is EFT is based on the same Chinese meridian points as acupuncture. So some people describe it as like acupressure for the emotions, and the theory behind EFT tapping is that all negative emotions are a disruption in the body's electrical or energetic system. And science proves we all have electricity that runs through our body. You know, we can monitor the electricity of the brain and the heart via EEGs and EKGs. So it's, you know, this isn't some like woo-woo theory. And just like when you go get acupuncture, what sometimes happens is when we have anticipatory stress or you know, something around the holidays, a particular type of stress, whether it's just loneliness or sadness or, you know, there's a meaning why behind a trigger for you over the holidays. So what we're doing is a lot of times that energy, that negative energy can get stuck in our body's system and cause disruption, or can cause you not to be in your conscious area of the mind, where your logic, your reasoning, your willpower, your decision making skills, and your analyzation skills are, and you're getting triggered in the subconscious area of the mind. And that's where we have known association. Some people refer to that as your life script. You know, those are the habits of things that you're wanting to maybe improve upon or strengthen. And so one of the ways that EFT tapping works is it helps to activate your body's natural parasympathetic nervous system to help get you out of that fight-flight mode. And again, you know, if you're dealing with holiday stress, whether it be, you know, a loss, or you've been diagnosed this year with something, you know, I know a few people who've been diagnosed with cancer this year, and it's very disruptive. And so maybe it's your first holiday, you know, dealing with something like that, or you've lost someone, or you just get emotional during the holidays and you're not really sure why. So what EFT does is it helps to balance the body's electrical and energetic system by, like, as my teacher would say, tap the crap. So excuse me for any swear words that I may say along this journey. And also, you know, this is a demonstration. This is not meant to be therapy. And by tapping along and along with the points, you do agree to take responsibility for your own emotional well-being. Okay, so let's start with the points. Now you can use, you're just lightly using your fingertips, just the end of your 2 fingertips. And if you're left-handed, you can use your left hand if you like. You can tap on the right side, the left side, or you can do both at the same time. So you're just lightly tapping with your 2 fingertips. And you're tapping, you know, enough that you feel it, but not hard enough that you're gonna like give yourself a bruise. So the first point is just the inside of the eyebrow where the end of the brow meets the bridge of the nose, just right there at the end. And then the next point is the side of the eye, just right here on the eye bone, not back here on the temple, but up here on the eye bone. And then the next point is under the eye, just directly in the middle, under the eye, again on the eye bone. You don't want to be up here like where the fleshy part is. You want to be on the eye bone. So like if you smile, it would sort of be like where the apple is on your smile there. And then the next point is directly between the end of the nose and the upper lip. So just in the middle there. And you're tapping about 5 or 7 times, and we're going to be saying some words, and then as we say the words, we're going to be tapping at the same time. And then the next point is halfway between the lower lip and the end of the chin. So for most people, where that little indent where the crevice is. And then the collarbone. So you can take both one hand and get both sides of, so the collarbone is sort of like where that little knob is. You can kind of feel the end of the collarbone, and it's just right below that. So you can take your hand and get both sides. And then the next point is underneath the arm on the side. So for women, it's about an arm's width down from your armpit. So just, I'm gonna tilt the camera down here. So just on the side of the arm there. Or you can use the same hand and get the side. So it's just under sort of the armpit, but about where the bra line would come in, or for men, the side. And then we're gonna do the wrist points. So you've got a point right here in the middle and one on either side. So you can either tap around like this or bump the wrist together. And then the last point is the top of the head. There's one point under the chest, but it's a little hard to get to. So on a public forum, we're just going to skip that one for today. So again, the inside of the eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, chin point, collarbone, under the arm on the side, and then top of the head just in the middle there. Okay, so that's the tapping points. Now we're going to do what's called the setup statement, and this is based on Gary Craig's EFT basic recipe. And if you have any comments, you can write in the comment section below. And so we're going to do what's called a setup statement, and we're going to do rounds of 3s. So we're just going to tap on general holiday stress, and I may, you know, insert some wording. And if there's something that I'm saying that doesn't apply to you, you can just in your mind think of what it is that you're wanting to release. If it's a certain person, or a certain event, or say your uncle always gets drunk and it makes you uncomfortable, or you know, you get triggered by a parent, or you know, there's something that happens being around family or friends, or maybe it's, you know, stress of being alone or having dealt with you know, with an illness this year, or a loss or a death. So when I'm tapping on this general stress, you can just in your mind, or if you're on your own, say the words out loud, what it is that's causing you specifically stress, because the more specific you can be when you're doing tapping on your own, the better. But since this is a public live, I'm just going to keep it really general for today. But, you know, even though there's multiple people tapping along, even though you can't see them, just as I'm saying the words, just feel free to think about your own issue. And if you're in a public place, and just think it to yourself. If you're home and you're wanting to say your own wording to it, then feel free to do that, okay? So we're gonna tap on the karate chop point. And the karate chop point is this little fleshy area, I'm sorry, the camera, between your pinky and the wrist. So you can use both. So if you imagine like if you're gonna do a karate chop, you know, with both your hands, like in a karate class. So that's where your karate chop point is. So you can either tap on one side or you can tap them both together. And so just for a moment, just tune in with your body and how you're feeling and what you're sensing, and just close your eyes for a moment if you're not driving, of course, and just take a deep breath. And just start to think about that thing that triggers you, or that thing that's causing you stress right now in your life. And so on a scale from 1 to 10, go ahead, and 10 being the highest, just go ahead and it's called just got a level of intensity. So sorry, I'm trying to fix my, my little thing here. So on a scale of 1 to 10, just tune in to where you are. 10 being the highest level of stress, and 1 meaning, no, I'm good and chill and calm and everything's great. Okay, so just get that number for yourself and we'll start tapping. Okay, even though I am feeling stressed out about the holidays, all the stuff going on, so much responsibility, and I deeply and completely honor and accept myself. Even though, and it's important if you can to say it out loud. If you can say it out loud, that's the best. But if you can't, you can just mumble it to yourself. Even though I'm feeling the stress around the holidays, and perhaps it's because I'm afraid I'm going to overeat or overdo it, or there's that person that I don't enjoy seeing on the holiday, I accept how I feel, and I deeply and completely honor and accept myself anyway. One more time. Even though I'm feeling some stress around the holiday, perhaps there's that person that triggers me, or emotional eating or overeating, or I miss that person or that pet, or it's just been a really tough year and I'm ready to start over, start a fresh year. I accept how I feel, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So that's the setup statement. We did that 3 times. So now we're going to start with the points. Hi, Shelly. Inside of the eyebrow, this holiday stress. Side of the eye, all the stress around the holiday. Under the eye, maybe it's perhaps because I'm traveling. Under the eye, and there's all this traffic. Chin point, so much to do. Collarbone, so much family. Under the arm, and that can be tough sometimes. Wrist points and triggering. Top of the head, whether I'm with family or on my own. Inside of the eyebrow, it can be stressful. Side of the eye, this holiday stress. Under the eye, so much overwhelm. Under the nose, around the holiday. Chin point, this holiday stress. Collarbone, this holiday stress. Under the arm, this holiday stress. Wrist points, perhaps I just want it to be over. Top of the head, because I can get triggered sometimes. Inside the eyebrow, this holiday stress. Side of the eye, this holiday stress. Under the eye, the stress is stressing me out. Under the nose, this holiday stress. Chin point, holiday stress. Collarbone, holiday stress. Under the arm, holiday stress. Wrist points, holiday stress. Top of the head, holiday stress. Okay, so now that we've done a few rounds, just go ahead and take a deep breath. Now just tune in again with how you're feeling when you think about that holiday stress, and just notice where you started and where you are now on a scale, that scale from 1 to 10. And hopefully most of you have come down. So at first we just tapped on, the stress around the holiday. So once your numbers have come down a few notches, so say for example you started at a 7 and now you're a 5 or a 4. So there's different techniques we're just kind of doing the basic recipe, but I'm going to bring in the I want and the I choose statements now. Well, actually, let's do a couple more rounds on the holiday stress. Let's just imagine it's still there a little bit. So if you haven't come down a few points, or even if you've gone up a little bit, slightly elevated, you can keep tapping until you come down a few points, and then you can start bringing in the I want or I choose statements. So let's just tap a few more rounds on holiday stress. Holiday stress. Side of the eye, holiday stress. Under the eye. There's that one person that just triggers me. Under the nose, or maybe there's a few people that trigger me, and they're not going to change. They're not going to change. Under the arm, I have to be the one to change. Wrist points, I have to have better control over my emotions and my state. Top of the head, this holiday stress. Inside of the eyebrow, this holiday stress. Side of the eye, or perhaps it's the food that stresses me out. Under the eye, or all the consumerism around the holidays. Under the nose, this holiday stress. Chin point, holiday stress. Collarbone, holiday stress. Under the arm, holiday stress. Wrist points, holiday stress. Top of the head, holiday stress. Okay. So deep breath. Okay, just tune in again with how you're feeling. And let's start bringing in the I want and I choose statement. So this is where it gets a little bit more empowering. So if you have a lot going on, at first it's best to focus on venting out the negative, because what we're doing by voicing, because a lot of people ask me, well, I don't want to reinforce the negative, or I don't want to manifest more negative. And in this situation, in the situation of EFT tapping, you're not reinforcing the negative. What we're doing is we're giving those thoughts and feelings, because even if you don't verbalize it, you still maybe you're still thinking them, and your body knows that. Whether you verbalize them or not, you're still thinking them. So what we're doing is we're giving these feelings a space to be acknowledged, seen, and heard, with the intention of venting out. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. And so once you've come down a few levels, because if you're still at like a 7 or an 8, or you still need to bring that number down a little bit before you can bring in the I want or I choose statements, or at least that's what I recommend. Okay, so once you're down, come down a few points, then you can start bringing in an I want and I choose statement. So that would look like, I want to let go of this holiday stress. I want to be more calm and present even around those people who trigger me. And I choose instead to be calm and relaxed. I choose to have more control. I choose to respond instead of react. I choose to take a deep breath before I respond to that person who triggers me. Things to that effect. So let's keep going with the tapping. So I'm going to intersperse the holiday stress with the I want and I choose statements now. Inside of the eyebrow, this holiday stress. Side of the eye, this holiday stress. Under the eye, I want to begin to let it go. Under the nose, I want to release this negativity out of my energetic system. Chin point, because it's time. Collarbone, and the stress doesn't serve me. Under the arm, it only makes it worse. Wrist points and stresses out the people around me when I'm stressed out. Top of the head. So I want to release this holiday stress. Inside of the eyebrow, I give myself permission to release this holiday stress. Side of the eye, this holiday stress. Under the eye, I really want to let it go. Under the nose, I want to release this negative energy. Chin point, and I choose instead, collarbone, to be calm and relaxed. Under the arm, to give my body a signal that it's okay to relax. Top of the head, I choose to be calm. Inside of the eyebrow, I choose to take a breath before I respond to people who trigger me. Side of the eye, I choose to be in control of my health and my body and emotions. Under the eye, I choose to have healthy boundaries with those around me. Under the eye, under the nose, I choose to be calm and serene. Chin point, I choose relaxation. Collarbone, I choose to know that others are doing the best they can with the information they have. Under the arm, I choose to be myself, authentic and real. Wrist points, I choose to remain empowered and in control. Top of the head, I choose to be free of any negative emotions. Okay, so go ahead and take a deep breath. So I hope that helped. I just wanted to give a little demonstration. And again, this isn't, meant to be personal therapy. And, by tapping along, you're just taking responsibility for your own well-being, and it's so important, especially around the holidays and whatever it is that you're going through, to know that there is something that you can do. And there are tools out there, whether it's breathing or grounding or taking a meditation class or just sitting underneath a tree, looking at the ocean or looking at a river. Water can be very calming. Nature is very calming. Or downloading the Calm or the Headspace app and listening, to something guided or silent meditation. There's so many things, but, you just have to do that. And it's taking the time to honor ourselves and really take good self-care time for yourself, especially around the holidays when it can be a very triggering time for some people. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to private message me or write a comment below. And whether you're watching live or in the replay, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this page. As throughout the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be having more tapping videos coming on and getting more specific about things around the holidays that can sometimes be triggers for us. So this was just the first of many videos to come. And thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you for taking time, this self-care time for you. You deserve it. You're worthy. You're loved. And thank you. Have a wonderful day. Okay, bye.